I'm Akhilesh, founder at Innovent. My company deals with architectural designs and civil designs. What distinguishes us is that we use the technology of virtual reality to implement design processes and also the phasing. So it makes, it allows a better understanding and visualization for our clients and also from the selling perspective. Back in 2014 or 2015, wherein me and my friends from college had gone for a DRDO exhibition, and they had got this device. I am not really sure if it was Oculus. The virtual gear they had displayed over there, and the thing that they had shown was a roller coaster ride. Okay, so that was something very fascinating to me and all of us, since we had never seen this kind of a technology before. Back in 2017, after graduating, I had started with 3D designs for architectural buildings and interior spaces, and I had an experience coming from, not from the college but outside the college, having done a lot of courses with 3D designs. So we used to provide, starting with the steels and walkthroughs for our clients. What we noticed was the clients, after watching the walkthroughs, okay, when you see a walkthrough, you get a different feel on the screen because everything appears to be spacious enough. But when it is actually being built, okay, that's the time wherein the client feels, okay, this space is not as big compared to what they've seen in the video. So at that point of time, it came to my mind, if I can collaborate VR technology with the 3D designs and maybe then show it to the client, how would it be? So that is how it all started. We have started with 3D designs. We've implemented a lot of building and spaces with the 3D designs, and now we've slowly got into virtual reality technology for the real estate as well. Innovent didn't start right after graduation, I would say. It was me alone individually, wherein I would go into designing and freelance for a while. I got some projects under my name, and then slowly the thing was, I wanted to try out something innovative, something which would make a difference to the current technology of construction. So in 2019, Innovent started. So from there on, it has been step by step, I would say, a business model till now. We were doing 3D printing, and we were doing something with the 3D designs also. So we basically separated two names, that was Innovent, that innovation, and to invent. That is how Innovent actually started. When I started my company, the first challenge, I would say, would be convincing my family members as well as the clients, because at a very young age, I was, I think, 20 or 21 back, and obviously nobody would be convinced enough for you to start a business that is not really there in Goa at the moment. Back then, age would be one difficulty which I faced, because a youngster, for people to trust, okay, and to believe that he can do something in this particular field was a bit difficult. But at the same time, what I did was, I was giving workshops, I was giving lectures in government colleges, which slowly helped me in making a name. I think it was basically the work that I've delivered, not more into the financial aspect, I would say, to start with. And initially, whenever you start individually or a business, it is the trust that you gain from the people. So I would say the right people approached me at that point of time, and of course there were some people who were not convinced with the designs also. I would be bold enough to tell you about that. So a part of failure and a part of success is something that helped me. Okay, if someone is not convinced with your designs or with your work, then you should not be let down, but rather work on your skills and just try to better yourself. During my lows, I of course knew that I had the skill set to deliver the work of the professional level, and if things would not work out for a bit more time, I was ready to move out of Goa also, maybe to join some company in this particular field, gain some experience or exposure, and then come back to Goa, wherein I would not have to go ahead and tell the clients that okay, this is something new and I've been doing it for a while. Rather, I've got the experience from a company and I've got the portfolio ready. But I feel things panned out differently. Things started working out over here. I won't say all of a sudden, I won't say all together, but it was step by step wherein we started getting projects, maybe through friends, maybe through some consultants. That's how it panned out. This particular technology, I've shown it to kids, I've shown it to teens and to middle-aged people and to elderly people also. The first reaction when I put them inside the virtual world, I'm not saying even in the real estate or any other technical aspect, I'm just saying the virtual world that is present inside, and it's just wow. Okay, whatever we see on the social media, there are some fun aspects wherein people you see just moving around, and then you say, okay, what this guy is up to, because you don't see what he's seeing inside. You are not able to see outside unless the screen has been telecast on the monitor or something. So basically, once you enter the virtual world, you feel like maybe you are in heaven, something like that. Okay, you are just detached from the real environment. So that is one of the fun aspect of this technology. At the same time, it provides you a lot of help when it comes to visualizing. So it is not only for, I would say, technical aspect, but I would say even when it comes to tourism, or when you can even make videos, travel videos, wherein you can just watch the 360 inside the VR. I would not say detached completely from the real world, but I would say it's the difference in the experience that you get inside, which you cannot get over here in the real world. Like you cannot see something from the outside the universe, like a planet like Saturn or Mars, just appearing in front of you. Okay, wherein you are in the universe and you see all the planets together, that's not what you really see every day. Okay, that's one example which I have taken for you. Or maybe I would say, in something like a fantasy land, which we never get to experience in the real world. So I would say, when people, if you are not using it for some project, you can just come and experience this, because it's a beautiful technology. It is an experience which you need to take. I think firstly, if you ask me about non-addiction with this technology, I would say the pricing itself would be non-addicting for any person on a daily basis. Every technology that comes into the market, say computer, mobile phones, iPods, or even now the VR goggles, and in future we don't know what is coming. Every technology has had its addiction. Every individual has been addicted to some sort of technology. It depends finally on the individual, I would say, wherein he has to take a decision that this is the amount of time that he is going to use, and we hope that the use for the beneficial purpose only, or for some recreational purpose, of course, maybe for some gaming or for some watching of some movie. Okay, I would not say don't do it, I would not say don't watch, but everything has got its time. If you are addicted to it, the device at the start itself will tell you that you have to switch it off after 15 to 20 minutes of viewing it, because your eyes are continuously exposed to the screen to such a close level that you have to detach from it after about a certain time. You cannot strain your eyes, because you are going to lose your eyes, and then you won't be able to see the real world nor the virtual world. So every individual will have to take a decision. But yes, there have been cases wherein people have been addicted, people have been sitting in front of VR for 24 hours, which is, I don't know how it's going to go about. But yeah, people will be fascinated by this technology. In terms of tourism and technology with VR, I would say wherein you create the 360 degrees video for a certain place. Maybe if some people who cannot go to that place for various reasons, that could be financial or personal reasons. Okay, for VR booth has been set up at certain place, the people can come over there and can gain the same, I wouldn't say the same, but a similar experience from this particular device, wherein they would not have to move to another place, but just sitting or standing over there within that space which has been allocated, they can view around everything basically that is going on in that place. Maybe they can take the Great Barrier Coral Reef tour, or they can go to Eiffel Tower from Paris, or maybe they can go to Saudi Arabia. So, desert safari you can say. So, it depend I would say it is going to help tourism firstly promote tourism companies, as at the same time getting people closer to different places. Well, the first thing that we started was with respect to real estate, wherein the clients were facing cost issues, and we found out that once we use the VR technology, okay, the client as well as the builder or the architect would be able to plan out the space in a better way, wherein there won't be any shift in cost on a higher side, and plan it out before, so that you reduce the cost of construction. There was a client who had come for his residential project, and they didn't have an idea about VR, and that was actually the first project which I had given to a client. So, they didn't know I was supposed to show them the VR part. They had come to me for 3D design and a walkthrough. So, I just said, come to me, okay, I'm giving you these things which you have asked, but at the same time let me take you to a virtual space wherein you can experience it even before it has been built. So, they came, and it was I would say a new experience to them, wherein they didn't realize that I was going to show them in this particular manner. So, whatever changes they had to make, they had just noted them down and told me, okay, this is not the way we want, and there has to be a change made, maybe in the texture, maybe in the arrangement, maybe in the setup. So, yes, it was for them something new, at the same time very helpful. The problems faced, I would say, is maybe people traveling from far away places to come to me, because we cannot expect someone who wants to build a house in Goa, sitting in Mumbai, coming down to Goa just to see a VR. Maybe that is one issue wherein which we are facing at the moment. But if at all the problem has to be solved, yes, we have got some solutions to it. It is not like we do not have a solution at all. But yeah, I would say the distance between the client and the setup. Well, that is what I love doing. That's one thing I would say. When you start a business, you are basically everything. You are in my case, you are the designer. I'm the designer. I'm the marketing person. I'm the person who will travel sometimes. But slowly we are getting a team ready, so that the work gets distributed by hiring interns, and maybe now getting employees on board as well. So, during the COVID times, of course, there was no virtual experience given to the client because of the the safety and the hygiene issues. At the same time, we didn't deny on taking projects. We took the projects, we made them ready at our place, and as the COVID started subsiding, we started delivering them also. Yeah, maybe it took a bit of time, but I wouldn't say it affected us a lot, but rather we decided to build a skill set in that period of time, and then go ahead and try something new. FiiRE was introduced to me by my friend, a colleague who used to study at Don Bosco, and he told me that there is a setup over here which allows an individual or even a student who is having a project to build on an idea, and also they provide you all the kind of connections and other help which you require. The most fascinating thing for me was that the space that they have built over here, wherein gives you a nice feeling, an environment for you to work and also be professional and at the same time enjoy. So it's not only work, but it's also building relationships with people from from different fields which we are not aware about. For the people who are trying to jump into the startup world or to start a business, I would say there are three things. One would be discipline, the second one would be dedication, and the third one would be honesty. So if you are disciplined enough, to work on a certain idea for a long period of time consistently, I think you can get there. Second one would be dedication, because you have to put in the dedication when you're working on an idea, be it technology related, be it recreational, or be it any other field. Okay, if you love doing it, if you have the skill set, please dedicate yourself to that particular project that you are working on. I'm not saying completely detach yourself from your personal lives, but you can try and manage both of them. And the third one would be honesty. Honesty as in, every time you start something need not work out for you. So okay, you have to be bold enough to accept that certain ideas which you will be starting are not going to work. Okay, there are a lot of ideas with us that seem very good to us, that seem phenomenal to us, but when it comes to selling to the client, it doesn't really work. That's what I've told you when in my business was the same case. So you can improvise and you can then come to a conclusion wherein, okay, this is something that will sell to the client, or if at all it is not selling to the client, you can of course shift to something else. Well, the future for Innovent at the moment, I would say we are still building, and I would like our services to reach to as many number of people, builders, architects, engineers, or any other recreational people who are there in the market to use our services, and maybe build on that.